Do you think that you are limiting yourself in any way right now? You're just holding yourself back. How often do you catch yourself limiting yourself? Maybe you're making excuses or not budgeting your time well. Maybe you tell yourself you're not good enough or not capable enough. Maybe it's time to clear those limitations. My name is Sage. I'm a growth coach, and the topic today is there are no limits except the ones that you place on yourself. So why is it so important to be aware of how you limit yourself? Well, we all do it, okay? Because we're the captain of our ship, and a lot of us are completely the ones holding ourselves back from what we want. And so the first deal is most of us aren't even aware of how we limit ourselves. And so it's really going to take you sitting down and digging deep into that and doing some self-reflection. And we are the only ones that can control or completely control ourselves. You know, if you want to change somebody, you can only change this person. And limits are just opportunities of ways to grow. So you want to make sure that you're just seeing that next obstacle as a way to grow into a better version of yourself. All right, so here's a couple quotes. Your limit is the amount of action you take, unknown. And there are no limits except for the ones you place on yourself. The universe is boundless, and so are you. Dolores Cannon. Now, how good are you at being aware of how you limit yourself? And how do you think you could become more aware? Well, I got you today. We're going to do 3. Okay, 3 ways to become more aware of how you limit yourself. Number 1, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to need to sit down for some self-reflection. And when you fail or things don't quite work out, you have to dig in there and ask yourself what your role was in why it didn't work out. Okay? You have to go through the different things. Was it something in your routine? Was it some bad habit you formed? Was it some choice you made? And dig through that stuff. Also, number 2, ask a good friend. Okay? Hopefully you've got somebody in your life by now that will tell you the truth with a bunch of compassion and love, but will still tell you the truth. Okay? Because that's the type of person you want to ask in this situation, to find out, how did I hold myself back? Because maybe you really have blinders on so bad you can't see it, and somebody else from the outside is going to need to. Also, you could work with a coach. And I really wanted to bring this up because I get a lot of questions of the differences between a personal coach and a counselor. Okay, so I'm a personal coach. I am not a counselor. I do have lots and lots of credits of psychology in college, and I have degrees in psychology, but I never went all the way through and got my licensure in counseling. And so what happens there is you have to be licensed in the state you practiced for things that are in behavioral health or physical health stuff. And there's a protocol to that, which also, keeps you safe from predators, but will also allow you to submit insurance. Okay. But working with a coach is a different ballgame because we're not looking back into the past and doing a bunch of solving of issues of things that happen in your childhood that are still holding you back in who you are. And that's some healing you want to do with a counselor. A coach more takes you from here to where you want to go from here. And so that's what hiring a personal coach is. Now, There's a lot of different types of personal coaches out there. There's ones that, specify in health, specify in finances, specify in, organization. And I specify in growing into the best version of you. Okay? So that might be an option for you. So circling around, there are no limits except for the ones that you place on yourself. So which of those tips of self-reflection, asking a good friend, or working with a coach might line up with what you're looking for right now? Okay, here's your intention for today. I choose to break through my limits and reach my dreams. Thanks for showing up today. That shows me how much you want to grow into your best self. And that is really the first step. And I appreciate you taking the time to join me today. And I hope this worked for you and you got some tips. But also remember that you can find hundreds of videos on my YouTube page at Sage Robinson Miller. You can join me on Facebook at Growing Sage. I have a private group called Growing Sage also, or Instagram at Growing Sage Journey. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Love ya.